hey, we found Ken Roczen in Florida, but we don't have an external fixator now.
Yeah.
You're looking more normal.
Yep. I'm looking like I actually look normal.
Yeah.
For once after, I don't know, 6.5 weeks or something like that.
Now, I know the focus has been on the wrist and the elbow and all that, but what you told me on Saturday was interesting. You just weren't feeling good in general. When you get that many surgeries and all that, it takes a toll all around.
Absolutely. I mean, once I left the surgery, especially after the first 3 weeks that I was in the hospital nonstop, we came back and actually got the flu. So, and that was only a week time or so until I had to fly back. And then my sickness kind of went into the time I was going to be back there. So I had a 102 fever, the whole 9. I was like, what did I do that it hit me that hard with everything?
And while you were already laid up, you got this fever.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
when
dude.
Everything was still fresh. So it definitely wasn't a fun time. And it's not like I don't ever get sick and just get a little bit sick. I usually get knocked out pretty good. But all that is done now. And yeah, like you said, it was mainly that after all these surgeries and all the medicine, I lost about 15, 16 pounds, and I had no energy. I would wake up, eat some breakfast, and pretty much just lay back down and sleep, and then I would kind of walk around the house a little bit, and I was beat at all times. So that is at least coming back to normal. So if Daytona would have been a week or week and a half before that, I don't think I could have made it there. There was no way.
Wow.
That's crazy,
Yeah. And honestly, when people start hearing 9 surgeries or 10 or whatever it's going to be in the end, and they hear compartment syndrome, they start freaking out. Now, we know your situation isn't normal because you get the best doctors and you have 24 hours a day to work on this. You don't have to go to your desk job. But does it scare you a little bit when you hear that? Or is your situation so unique that you're confident you can get through?
Well, I'm confident I get through, but, it is different when the doctor comes walking in and says that, we had to fight to save the arm kind of deal. So
wow,
it was crazy because the compartment syndrome, on the picture that I posted, you could see that everything started getting real purple. Yeah. And then, once it starts getting gray, that's when your muscle starts dying or is dead. And then once the muscle's dead, you can't get it back.
Revive it, yeah.
Doctor said once that my elbow was about as thick as my thigh, which is kind of, that's pretty, I wouldn't say I have thick thighs, but for an elbow, that's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. And towards the last 2 surgeries, those were the first surgeries where they actually came in and fixed my arm. Yeah. Fixed my arm up. I mean, it's not fully fixed yet, but fixed, 90% of it. And I mean, he stuck with it. It was very severe, and it is a career-threatening injury. So, but I'm not going to sit here and just be like, okay, well, this is it. So I'm going to, like last week, I'm supposed to go to physical therapy 1 to 3 times, and I went 4 times. I'm trying everything I can to maximize everything.
And these doctors you're getting access to, the dogs are in it. And you're saying the doctors that you get access to in Colorado, I've worked with tons of athletes from a variety of backgrounds. So
absolutely, it's a Stepman clinic, and I got most of the 8 surgeries out of 9 from Dr. Viola. Yeah. And one of them was Dr. Hackett. And I mean, those are some of the best in the world. So it was good that we actually took the time and flew up there, because while I was in Irvine in the hospital, they told me they were going to give me surgery at 3 a.m., then 6 a.m., then they said 10 a.m., and they were actually going to, they said fix it up and sew me up, but that would have been the wrong thing to do. Doctor actually had to clean my bones because the radius was out and the
Did it hit the dirt?
ulna was compounding.
Did it actually hit the dirt?
Yeah. He said he had to clean the mud out of there.
Oh.
So,
all right.
that is one thing.
So you started getting a kind of a sketchy feeling about we need to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, Steve, my agent, he was like, man, we got to go to Colorado. I'm like, dude, I want the surgery now. Like, I'm over it. It was really painful. Yeah. But then in the end, we took a private jet up there. I couldn't fly commercial. It would have taken too long. But we took a plane up there, and by the time we landed, I was about to beat somebody up because I was in so much pain. The pressure from up there too, and it wasn't a fun time. And honestly, after the first 3 weeks, I look back, I didn't remember a whole lot. Like, the whole 3 weeks were a straight blur. I remember that Shorty was there and Steve, but Oscar was there and the wife, and all that stuff is almost like I lived for 3 weeks, but I kind of didn't because I don't really remember a whole lot. It's the craziest thing, because in the moment I was clear. I could talk everything. I could eat. I was always hungry. It's not like I was struggling with that, which was weird that I lost so much weight. But now that I look back, I'm like, man, it's a full-on film
blur.
Cut.
Yeah.
A blur.
Or maybe you're blocking out some of the trauma. Now, that night at the race, like the post-race press conference, I mean, it really took the air out of the building. Like, I remember walking down the ramp down to the pits that night, and everybody was just like, man, Sucks. No one wants to see a contender go down.
Right.
And the next weekend, we saw a lot of emotion from Reed and Dunge and Tomac. They were upset that you were out. It almost seems like all the riders, when they see someone, one of their peers, and they realize, man, that could be any of us at any time. They really were emotional about this. Did you see that? Did you hear about that?
I heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I heard about it, and it's kind of I mean, I'm the one that crashed, so I can't really. I know that the crash was big, but it really seemed like it affected some people.
Yeah.
And I also think for how bad everything went, like it went pretty bad, but I always think it could have been way worse.
Right.
And because I was really high in the air, I was going fast and everything, and my body jumped 3.5, not 3, not 4, but 3.5.
I know. Almost quadded.
That's right. I wish my body would have.
If you got the downside.
Yeah,
right.
So it's great to see, and actually Ryan and those guys, or mainly he, but he's checking in all the time. He actually called me a few days ago and
really?
stuff. So yeah, he's
cool.
I mean he's a really, really nice guy and a good competitor, but he really checked in all the time, and obviously I think also in the hospital there were a bunch of people that texted me, but again I don't really remember a whole lot, and there was so many text messages. I don't remember who I texted back, who I didn't text back. I don't know. But yeah.
Did you get engaged during this process?
I did.
Is that what went down?
Yeah, I did, in Vail.
Do you remember that part at least?
I do remember that because that was actually when I was a little bit more clear before I went there the last time. So I was about 8 days or 9 days off the medication.
So it's legit. This wasn't like a Vegas wedding or something like that.
No, it wasn't. It's legit.
All right. Well, congratulations then on that.
Thank you. Yeah, Courtney is a huge. I mean, she literally slept next to me sometimes. Especially the last 2 times we went there, because the hotel prices are ridiculous up there. They go up $2,500 a night, and I'm like, she was like, oh no, I'm sleeping here. So she was sleeping on this little seat. I felt so bad for her because she was there for 3 weeks, and she had to bounce from hotel to hotel because things got really expensive. So she was bouncing around, and obviously, once we got back too, I'm a headache on the couch. I can't do nothing, so I have to ask her for everything.
Right.
For puppy to take care of and all that stuff. So I really started feeling bad. Because, cook dinner, you got to do this, put on my pants, tie my shoes, do this or that. Oh, it's a nightmare. But I learned a lot just with working with one arm right now.
Yeah. So she earned that ring.
She did earn the ring. No, truly. Like in the last 2.5 years or so, she's been by my side. We never fight, and there's, positive vibes at all times. So I felt good about it.
And so are you getting that? Like you said that Ryan Dungey checks in, and I know you got your parents here. Like, are you getting at least those positive vibes? Because it's weird. You go from everyone wants your time all the time when you're the points leader, and then you drop off the map. Mm-hmm. So are you still feeling that positive vibe?
Absolutely, and especially the fans, I have to say. I mean, the support that I've gotten from everybody is pretty insane. And I didn't expect anything, but the more I posted and gave them an insight of what actually happened,
right,
the better. All the comments and everything, the support was really, really great. So I was really happy to see that, and it seemed like everybody felt bad for me, and it's just a good feeling to, have people say nice things about you and really care and check in.
You've always been crazy open, especially on Instagram, but even in your interviews and everything. But I have heard people say, dude, the arm looks so gnarly that's going to scare people from dirt bikes, and he's doing videos when he's drugged up.
Right now, but not when I come back. When I come back,
yeah, so you didn't think twice about showing any of that?
No, I didn't. First off, I wasn't clear, so I probably didn't care no matter what. But,
okay.
Sorry, but overall, I just think it'll make for a greater story.
That's true. And I think even when you sign with Honda, I mean, I heard this over and over, like, how are they going to deal with he just says what he wants? But I feel like they know exactly what they're getting, and have there been any problems?
I think anybody that jumps into a relationship with me, they know what they're getting, and it is what it is. I mean, most of the time people think the same thing, but they won't say it.
Yes.
So if I'm the one that's saying it, I don't really care. Like I said, I'm an open and honest person, and my relationship with all my sponsors, but especially with Honda, has been nothing but great, and they're absolutely amazing to me, and not just my team, but everybody in the factory. I mean, I've kept getting these big old posters of things they sign, and they put pictures on it to wish me well, and it's been amazing. And I heard people too saying, oh, like, how is that gonna be? And it has been nothing but great, and we have great respect from each other, and I'm doing my job, and actually I think for the crash that was actually what bumped me out the most, that I'm getting paid, and they were all excited to have me, and I was excited to be with them, and we were doing really good. And I sometimes say it was all like things were almost too nice to be true, and then that happened, and it was a shocker to me. At that point, I didn't even care too much about the arm, but mainly that I feel like I let people down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, I can't change it. I'm putting out my heart out there no matter what, and I was in shape, the best I've ever been. And like I said in every interview that my focus is going to be 110%, and that's what it was. And now, that happened, and in the end, I'm not looking back and be like, oh, this was a mistake of that, or this was a mistake of that. Mm-hmm. And so I just kind of have to deal with it, and I'm over it now because I try to do what I can for my team, and unfortunately, I wish I would be out there racing, but at the same time, we have hopefully a lot of years to go, and
right.
And if we have to, make a mark on that year, it is what it is, and we'll come back and hopefully make a great story together.
That's the whole key. Come back. It will happen. Kenny will be here. Meanwhile, not bad enjoying lake life, so it's not so bad.
No, it's not that
right?
bad.
No.
I wish my boat was in the water, but it's kind of hard, driving a boat with one arm. You got to go forward, backwards, forward, especially if you want to put it back on the trailer. But actually, the weather isn't really boat weather right now. It looks nice, but obviously, I could put a jacket over this one, so it's kind of chilly right now.
Just grab you got the magazine? Can you get the magazine back there?
Yeah,
we'll give you a little gift. You haven't even got one of these.
How long has this been out?
About a month now. This is Ken in happier times.
This is the first magazine I just got.
That's like almost practically a Ken Roczen issue. There's plenty of stuff in there. So hey, that's our little gift.
Back.
Yeah, there you go.
Good deal.
All right, here, you can shake with that hand, right?
Yep.
Thanks for the time. Get well soon, and at some point we'll see you back on a motorcycle at the races, right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, thanks.